Welcome to Faith on Film, a program designed to keep you informed on everything that's happening in the world of faith and family entertainment. I'm so sad because today Holly couldn't join me. She's extremely busy with holidays coming on and her working over at Capernaum Studios. They've got a lot going on over there. But I still have a great show. I'm going to do the best to again keep you informed and hopefully keep you entertained. I've got a great guest today. Josh Murray, I've known for, my goodness, maybe, 14, 15 years. I met him at the Gideon Christian Film Festival, and I have followed his career. Now, one thing about Josh is most of the movies, at least the ones that I've seen, are all either action or suspense or thriller type movies. But he's kind of a little different. Now, the movies that I've seen him in the past has been, of course, The Reliant with Kevin Sorbo. That's definitely an action film with a lot of, shooting and trying to escape the bad guys. There's also a movie which I'm not aware of. I actually have not seen this movie. I'm going to have to check it out. Called Limbo, in which he plays the Dark Stranger. Ooh, boy, that definitely sounds suspenseful, doesn't it? The Dark Stranger. And of course, he's played in Killing Lincoln, which was executive produced by Ridley Scott and narrated by Tom Hanks. Josh plays Assassin Lewis Powell. Assassin, did you hear that right? Assassin Lewis Powell. So again, action films, thriller films, suspense films. That movie, by the way, set a record in viewership on the National Geographic Channel. But now he's gone romantic on me. That's right. He's gone romantic. I don't know what that's about, but we're certainly going to find out today as I talk with him a bit and find out why he went romantic on us. In fact, why don't you take a look at the trailer so you can see what it is that I'm talking about? And when we come back, we'll delve into this romantic thing. Here's the trailer.
Streaming on Fox Nation.
I don't believe it. Heavy.
Can these old flames find holiday magic in the most Christmassy place on earth?
You always did know how to make me laugh.
Christmas at the Greenbrier, streaming now. Exclusively on Fox Nation.
Josh, welcome to Faith on Film. What is going on here?
I'm throwing you a curveball. Gotta keep you guessing, Isaac.
Definitely. Now you've gone from all these roles that I'm pretty familiar with you on, and you've gone romantic on me. Now I do have a confession. Okay, I have a confession to make to you. I'm not your typical male. I actually love these holiday rom-coms. I probably watch at least 30 or so every Christmas season. So you have hit a chord here with me. But tell me all about it. How in the world this happened?
I actually did. I did kind of a more the typical like thriller Lifetime role with some of these guys last year it was, and they also do a lot of more like Hallmarky kind of films, and they asked me to audition for this Christmas one this summer, and I was actually at a wedding at the time, and so I almost didn't have time to squeeze it in, but I grabbed my cell phone and looked over some sides and sent them a take of it, just in a little corner of the house with my wife. And I was actually the director's first choice, so he liked my take on Ben, and they asked me to do it. And I had never even heard of the Greenbrier. Strangely enough, it's kind of a famous resort, but
right.
It was all new to me, and shortly thereafter, I was on a plane to West Virginia.
Huh. So tell me what the story's all about.
Yeah. So the film centers around a character named Abby, played by Alicia Leigh Willis, and a character named Ben, who is a retired football player, and he goes back to his hometown in West Virginia for the holidays to visit the Greenbrier. And it turns out his old flame, his high school sweetheart, Abby, is working there. And so they run into each other by surprise and have the opportunity to kind of rekindle things. And it's a lot about, second chances, really a big theme in the film.
Okay. Now, was it difficult for you to go from this dark stranger character to a romantic guy?
Well, in some ways it was. Obviously, some of these intense, dark, violent characters are not really a reflection of who I am. But it is something that I'm, a range or an energy I'm used to portraying in film. And I haven't had a lot of experience doing these kinds of characters. I think a lot of times people assume that the more intense, dramatic, like emotionally rough roles are much harder. And in some ways, for maybe a lot of people, they are. But for me, I've always kind of thought of these kinds of roles where people are so happy and up and positive all the time is more challenging to me because from where I was coming from, especially earlier in my life, like that just wasn't my experience of life. But I think it's partly just a kind of an outflow of just my development as a person and the healing that I've gone through, that I have kind of the capacity to play in those colors of more the lightheartedness. It's not like it's replacing the other strengths or interests I have in film, but it's, as an actor, it's great to be able to stretch yourself in different directions. It's great to be able to play with different parts of the sandbox, if you will. If nothing else, my mom is really, really happy that I did this movie. She's been complaining for years that I never played a nice guy.
Now, you said something right now that caught my attention. You talked about your own personal healing. Are you able to share what you're referring to there?
Yeah, sure. I kind of initially came into acting years and years ago, partly out of looking for an outlet because of the chronic health issues I was dealing with, and also partly because I wanted to just uncover or figure out some things with myself. I was in a dark place for many years, just dealing with chronic pain and depression, and it was an outlet, but it was also like a path of self-discovery. Initially, the only thing that I really felt authentic in was playing, more turbulent characters, because there was just so much going on inside of me. And it wasn't any one, particular moment, but it was a very gradual process over many years of pursuing healing, transformation, self-discovery, reflection, and really just shifting my beliefs, a little bit over time, and really having a different relationship to my heart, different relationship to my emotions over the course of this journey that's really led me to a place where I have a lot more openness and a lot more freedom emotionally to be able to, like I said, to play a role where people are predominantly living in a space of enjoyment and happiness. And this film is not all like butterflies and rainbows either. I mean, there's real issues that they're dealing with. There's real heartache and there's real struggle. But it's coming from a place. Overall, it's coming from a tone and perspective of more hopeful, joyful, living. So,
right. Now, you mentioned you were married. I believe I saw that on Facebook at some point. Would you say that you are that same romantic type character in your own personal life? Does your wife think you're this romantic guy?
I have to bring her on to get the real scoop, but I would say she thinks so. Yeah. I'm a very romantic person. I think that I'm a very romantic person, not just in terms of relationships, but a romantic in life in general. There was a period of time where I just got bitter, in my teen years. I got really bitter just because of a lot of disappointments and heartbreaks and lack of connection in my life. And so I kind of unsubscribed from that because it felt like it was too much for me to handle. And so it just took, like I said, that long process of gradually coming to terms with life and healing and my relationship to God and to people to be able to be my authentic self, which is I am a romantic. So it to me, I I don't think of it as being, super romantic is cheesy. I think that when it's honest and when it's authentic, when it's coming from a truthful place, then it's real. I think that the only time when things become cheesy is when you're doing it for appearance, for the form and not actually doing it.
Yeah. So you said that the movie itself kind of helped you with some of that healing. Would you also say that maybe being married now, maybe your wife has kind of helped you to bring you into that happier place?
Absolutely. Having a successful relationship and being able to actually commit, just be able to get to a place of closeness and trust, to be able to commit to somebody in marriage is a huge step. And then even just being married is a healing process. And it's very much seasons and stages, because there was a long time where I wasn't able to really have a healthy relationship because I wasn't at a level of healing where I could do that. So it took a level of healing for me to be able to, work things out with Catherine. Even when we first met, trust initially, and so there was a process even in our relationship of like healing.
You locked up there for a minute, so what I'm going to do is you can just kind of pick it up a little bit. I can't even tell you exactly where you locked up, but
okay, sure. I'll roll back. So
just pick it up from there, Jan.
Yeah. So there's seasons and stages to healing, and even in my relationship with Catherine, there was some stages that I had to overcome in terms of healing to be able to move forward with her. And getting into a committed relationship, getting to the stage of marriage was a huge breakthrough and progress and maturing for me. And then once stepping into marriage, it's been other levels and seasons of healing and moving forward too. So I think I think for everyone, it's a life journey.
Well, I'm so happy to see you happy like this. But also, I really appreciate your being this open with our audience today and just kind of sharing all about your dark space and kind of, your journey that you're taking now. That's very, very nice of you to be that open.
Well, Isaac, I just got the news that a friend from recent years passed away and committed suicide.
My goodness.
The other day, and someone who was incredibly positive and encouraging and upbeat every time that I saw him. And part of the issue and the problem, and also part of the difficulty in me healing and coming to terms with life really in the past was the fact that I just felt like no one understood me. I felt like there was no one I could talk to. I felt like there was no one that was really going through what I was going through. And that's a huge lie of the enemy. That we assume that like we're unique in our problems. And so I'm aware, because of comments that I've heard from people, which I think is absurd, but it is people's perceptions sometimes who just know me now in this stage of my life, that I have it all together, and that life comes easy for me, or I live the charmed life, or I'm super lucky, or whatever. And I know for a fact that I in the past I was in worse shape than the average person, for sure. I don't know where I fall on the spectrum, but I intentionally from time to time share these things because I know there's people who sometimes look at other people's happiness and it's almost like a condemnation of their life. And I don't project this fake, imaginary world on social media or what have you. Like I genuinely now, for the most part, I live out of gratitude and joy and enjoyment of life. And I live, overcoming obstacles. I face challenges, but I also don't, part of my healing and health is I don't really focus on the setbacks and disappointments. I deal with them when they come up and I move forward. But I wasn't always like that. And so from time to time, I do like to share about, the crap and the junk that I've been through, because I want people to know, like, this didn't just come naturally. This came from battling, like hard, painful battles day in and day out, year after year, to get to this place. And time doesn't heal all wounds, just waiting for time to pass does not fix anything. Repressing, ignoring, avoiding, forgetting about things does not fix anything. It was confronting things. And that's part of my purpose, as an artist, as an actor, as a person.
Sure.
Is to help people to recognize, that you have a soul, and you have to contend for it. You have to deal with it. And even if you have religion, even if you have all the right answers, like, if they're just in your head, they're not going to fix things.
Wow. So what would be your recommendation then if somebody is kind of going through this, besides starring in a romantic comedy movie?
Well, for me, acting has been a pathway and a medium, and a motivation. It's been kind of a channel for my journey and my healing. For other people, it might be something completely different. But the underlying principle is the same, and that is that the things that we feel are not the problem in and of themselves. They are only messengers. And so a lot of times people would like to treat the symptoms of, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have heartache, I have, whatever these feelings are. Let me figure out a way to fix them. And it's not the feelings that are the problem. The feelings are only a symptom or a reflection, or really an indication of something that needs to be dealt with. And so we have to really get to the root of what is it that we're believing in our heart of hearts, that is causing us to interpret life and to experience life in this way that is painful. And only when we arrive at true peace and healing and freedom, to be able to move beyond that, have we gotten to the reason for the pain. And the pain is always there for a reason. The pain is not the problem.
Right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This was not what I thought the program was going to be dealing with. I thought we're going to talk about this romantic comedy. You see it right back here, Christmas at the Greenbrier. But you know what? God always has something in mind, and I just feel like what you've been sharing could be something that could be very useful to some of our viewers, because if they might be going through this same kind of thing, and you're sharing your story and you're sharing your heart. I think it's going to be very important. In fact, we were only going to go on for about 10, 12 minutes or so, and we've been in this for a while, and I think we might just end up with an entire show here. And so I really appreciate you doing this. But tell me, what's in store for your future now?
Wow.
That's a big question.
That's a big question. Well, right now, at the moment, I'm promoting the Christmas film, and just to touch briefly on it. I mean, obviously it's out now. It's streaming. Right. People can watch it this Christmas. I've been really appreciative of just so much feedback from people, even people who maybe it's not their typical movie, but it brought a smile to their face. They watched it with their family. They enjoyed it. Which is great to hear. And, it is more of a fun and lighthearted film. But I think there's a theme in there, like I said, about second chances, that has some depth and some meaning to it. And to me, the thing about second chances is that when we have a second chance, it means that we've already failed or we've already experienced disappointment. And part of what my character has been is experiencing in the film is that is fear of taking that chance, fear of failing again, fear of it falling apart. And I think the character of Abby as well, she's had love in the past and lost it repeatedly. And there's a lot of fear of taking that risk. And so that's a theme that really stood out to me in the film. And I think it's something I always look for in every film is like, what is the root of this? What is not just the message, but what's the truth? What's the kernel of truth in this story? Because that's what stories ultimately are doing. It's conveying truth about life.
Do you think that this will be kind of your new genre? Are you do you think you might be doing more of these rom-coms type of movies? Or are you going to go back to being the dark stranger?
So I just wrapped on another film, which I can't talk too much about because it's pretty under wraps still. But it's based on a true story. It's based on a true story. It's kind of a corporate legal thriller, but it's another intense one. It's based on a true story, but it's a pretty dark story. It's some heavy material, and the character I play is more on that more somber tone. I'm expecting that film will probably be announced maybe in the summertime. So that is something I'm looking forward to coming out as well. And definitely I shifted back. I'm kind of on the other side of the spectrum. I have gotten some inquiries already about some films for next year. Nothing confirmed, but some stuff on both sides of the spectrum. Opportunities that are more on this rom-com tone, and others that are more on that heavy dramatic note. So for me as an actor, I love the idea of defying people's expectations and limitations and shoeboxing or pigeonholing me into anything. I like the variety.
All right. So if people want to just kind of keep up with what you're doing, how would they do that? Do you have a website? Do you have I'm sure you got a Facebook page because I follow that one. But what's the best way to just kind of follow you?
Well, if you're on Instagram, that's definitely the best way to keep up with me. That's where I'm active primarily, Josh Murray Actor on Instagram. But you can find me on the same handle, Josh Murray Actor, on Facebook, Twitter, and get updates with what I'm doing there as well.
All righty. So how long you been married, by the way?
We just celebrated our first 1 year anniversary a couple months ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is so cool. I just recently celebrated 40. Oh my goodness, if my wife finds out that I don't remember how many years she's going to have my height. 42, I think. 42 or 43. Somewhere around there.
Okay. 42 and a half.
Yeah, 42 and a half. Well, listen.
Congratulations, man. That's quite an accomplishment today.
Thank you. Yes, it is, and it's sad to see how many marriages end, even in the Christian space, even amongst Christians now. The divorce rate is just so high. So no, definitely, but we both come from a long line of long married people. My parents still alive, by the way, and I think they've been married now for, let me see, I'm 64, so they've been married about almost 66 years.
Wow,
that's a long time. It's a long time.
It's a great legacy. There's loyalty and commitment are great virtues.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you again for taking time to just kind of share with us again your heart and just your real personal story here. But also the movie. Now the movie again is Christmas at the Greenbrier, right? And it's available on Fox Nation. So just go look for it, and go look for a lot of other movies done by Josh. He's got some great movies. So you want to find those, check them out. They're probably streaming all over the place, right?
You got it, man.
All right, man. Thank you, and have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God bless.
Well, the movie is Christmas at the Greenbrier, and you can watch it streaming on Fox Nation. Now, Fox Nation is, of course, a streaming service, a subscription streaming service. So if you have Fox Nation, you can just look for Christmas at the Greenbrier and watch it then. Or if you're not, I believe they have a free trial that you can check it out. So you can subscribe to it for free. Watch the movie, and then if you don't want to keep the subscription, just cancel it. But at least you get to watch the movie. Now, of course, if you like what else they have there at Fox Nation, then you can always remain with your subscription. Now, this program took a little bit of a different turn than I had intended, actually, that I had in mind. I thought we were just going to talk about a wonderful Christmas romantic comedy that Josh was involved in. But, of course, it kind of took that different turn of just getting to find out about his personal life a little bit. And I'm so grateful for him that he was able to be that transparent and that vulnerable. I know that's difficult for actors to be able to just be that vulnerable and just share with you their personal life. But I believe Josh kind of really understood that there was someone out there that maybe needed to hear this. So I know during Christmas time, it's very difficult for a lot of people. Some of them perhaps lost their loved one just recently, and this will be their first Christmas without their loved one, and that can be a difficult time. Or maybe they lost their loved one several years ago, and every Christmas they're just reminded that they don't have their loved one with them anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage you. Hopefully this program actually was an inspiration to you, just to know that you're not alone. You know, God cares for you. He's there for you. So you're not really alone. So if you're going through that, I hope, number one, that this program really inspired you and blessed your heart, but that it also just made you understand and realize that there is hope. Now, if this is not you, but you know someone perhaps that has lost a loved one recently or lost him during the season, and you know that they're going through this, maybe you can let them know about this program. Just tell them to go. It's very simple. Tell them to go to youtube.com/Faith on Film TV or /@Faith on Film TV. That's youtube.com/@Faith on Film TV. They can watch this program, and perhaps this will also make an impact in their life. And the other thing is, this is a challenge that I'm going to give to you. I know this program is supposed to just be to tell you all about the wonderful things happening in the faith and family entertainment. But again, today I think was a very special program. So I'm going to have a challenge for you. If you know someone who is going through this, who perhaps is going through depression, or who you know that this year will be alone, here's the challenge. Why don't you invite them to your place for Christmas? Invite them. If you're having a Christmas party, invite them to your Christmas party. If it's just you and your family, invite them to join your family to be a part of this Christmas season. That can be difficult, I know, but believe me, when it's all over, you will feel great that you did this for someone. So there's the challenge for you. I hope you accept this challenge and make an impact in somebody's life. Well, I just want to remind you that you can write us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. We sure would love to hear from you. Let me know, by the way, that you watch this program specifically. And of course, you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. That's at Faith on Film TV. And again, I reiterate, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Faith on Film TV. And while you're there, just hit that little subscribe button. That way you'll know what new programs are coming your way. All right, well, it's not Christmas yet, but we're certainly in that Christmas season now. So I don't know if I should wish you a Merry Christmas yet. We will have a Merry Christmas program, but Merry Christmas anyway.